Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life is an energetic self-help guide that teaches you to overcome doubts, embrace yourself, and take action to achieve your goals. It combines humor, practical advice, and motivation, helping readers believe in their badassery and live more boldly. The book is worth reading to boost your confidence, eliminate internal barriers, and start making your dreams a reality. Jen Sincero, a former coach, wrote the book in 2013, inspired by her own journey from financial struggles to success, and it became a worldwide bestseller, translated into 40 languages. The book is especially popular among young people for its straightforward style, as evidenced by enthusiastic reviews on X and millions of copies sold. Interestingly, Sincero started as a musician, and her candidness made the book a hit, although some criticize it for being overly simplistic. Part 1. How you got this way. Rule 1. My subconscious brain made me do it. Your subconscious beliefs shape your behavior, but they can be changed to live more boldly. Notice negative thoughts, such as, I don't deserve success, and write them down to understand their roots. Practice the belief rewriting method, replacing old patterns with positive ones like, I am capable of great things. Repeat new beliefs daily to reinforce them. Notice how a shift in mindset opens new opportunities. Every evening, write down one limiting thought and replace it with an empowering one. For example, instead of, I can't do this, write, I am learning and growing. In the morning, repeat, I am worthy of my goals. This changes your inner attitude. For instance, catch the thought, I'm always late, and replace it with, I am punctual, then start arriving at meetings on time. Or, instead of I'm not talented, repeat, I am developing my skills, and sign up for a course, noting your progress. Your mindset is the foundation. This chapter teaches you to change your beliefs, to free yourself from inner shackles. Rule 2, the chatty friend in your head. The inner voice often criticizes and sows doubt, but it can be tamed to become an ally. Listen to your inner dialogue and identify when it's holding you back. Practice the dialogue with the critic method, asking questions. For example, why do I think this? Replace criticism with support, telling yourself, I'm doing the best I can. Notice how this strengthens your confidence. Keep a journal, recording what your inner voice says. For example, you're not ready. For example, ask, what facts support this? And answer, I am ready to try. Tell yourself, I can do this, before a difficult task. This reduces self-criticism. For instance, upon hearing you'll fail the presentation, write down evidence of your preparation and deliver a successful presentation. Or, before an exam, tell yourself, I know enough, and notice how it eased your anxiety. Your inner voice is a tool. This chapter teaches you to turn criticism into support for growth. Rule 3, the present and the future. Your present is the result of past thoughts, but you can create a better future by changing your mindset now. Visualize your goals, imagining their achievement in detail to boost your motivation. Practice the mindful present method, focusing on the current moment to make better decisions. Act immediately, taking a small step toward your dream. Notice how this brings you closer to what you want. Every day, for 5 minutes, imagine you've achieved your goal, for example, a new job. For instance, focus on the current task, turning off your phone. Take a step, for example. Send your resume. This builds your future. For example, visualize yourself on stage, receiving an award, and start writing a speech, noticing a surge of energy. Or focus on writing an email without distractions and observe how it's sped up your work. The present is a springboard. This chapter teaches you to live consciously to create your future. Rule 4, the magnificent reality of frequency. The energy you emit attracts events, so raise your vibrations through positivity and action. Surround yourself with inspiring people and places to maintain high energy. Practice the energy tuning method. starting your day with music or affirmations to energize yourself. Be grateful for small things, writing them down to amplify positivity. Notice how this changes your reality. Listen to upbeat music in the morning to lift your mood. For example, write down 3 things you're grateful for, such as a sunny day. Meet with friends who motivate you. This attracts good fortune. For example, start your morning with dancing and notice how the day went easier. Or give thanks for delicious coffee and observe how it improved your mood. Energy is a magnet. This chapter teaches you to radiate positivity to attract the best. Overall conclusion, the first part of the book reveals how subconscious beliefs, the inner critic, mindfulness, and energy shape your life, offering practical ways to change them for confidence and success. Methods such as rewriting beliefs, dialoguing with the critic, visualization, and energy tuning help free you from doubt and take control of your present and future. These practices show that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of your reality, capable of changing your mindset and vibrations to live more boldly. This approach inspires you to start small, from writing down thoughts to dancing in the morning, to build a life full of opportunities and joy. Part 2, how to love yourself. Rule 5, I know you're a badass. Belief in your uniqueness is the first step to confidence, even if you don't feel it yet. Acknowledge your strengths, writing down what you're good at to boost self-esteem. Practice the wins list method, noting your achievements, even small ones, to remind yourself of your worth. Give yourself compliments in front of the mirror to learn to love yourself. Notice how this changes your attitude toward yourself. Every evening, write down 3 things you excelled at. For example, helped a friend. For example, tell yourself, I'm great at tasks. Keep a journal, recording successes, such as a completed project. This boosts self-belief. For example, write, I organized the meeting well and feel a surge of pride. Or look in the mirror and say, I'm a badass, noting how it lifted your spirits. Self-worth is the foundation. This chapter teaches you to see your strength, to shine with confidence. Rule 6, love the one who looks back at you from the mirror. Accepting yourself with your flaws helps you live more freely and boldly. Practice the mirror praise method, daily complimenting yourself for qualities you like. Forgive yourself for mistakes, writing them down and releasing guilt to move forward. Surround yourself with people who value you to strengthen self-love. In the morning, tell yourself in the mirror, I love your energy. For example, write, I made a mistake at work, but I'm learning, and release the guilt. Spend time with friends who support you. This makes you kinder to yourself. For example, praise yourself for a smile in the mirror and notice how it warmed you. Or record a mistake, for example, an argument, and forgive yourself, noting the relief. Acceptance is freedom. This chapter teaches you to love yourself completely, to live without looking back. Rule 7, I'm perfectly fine. Your worth doesn't depend on external achievements, but on who you already are. Stop comparing yourself to others, focusing on your own path. Practice the internal approval method, reminding yourself that you are good enough, even without awards. Celebrate your uniqueness by doing something that reflects you, for example, creative pursuits. Notice how this strengthens inner peace. Every day, tell yourself, I am good as I am. For example, instead of comparing yourself to a colleague, note your own successes. Draw a picture or sing to express yourself. This frees you from pressure. For example, tell yourself, I am enough before a meeting, and notice how it relieved anxiety. Or write a poem and share it with a friend, noting the joy of self-expression. You are already enough. This chapter teaches you to value yourself unconditionally, to live more easily. Rule 8, forgiveness. Forgiving yourself and others frees you from the burden of the past, opening the path to happiness. Practice the forgiveness letter method, writing a letter to yourself or the offender to release the pain. Acknowledge your feelings, allowing yourself to grieve, to heal. Tell yourself, I am letting go of the past to move forward. Notice how forgiveness brings lightness. Write a letter forgiving yourself for an old mistake and tear it up. For example, allow yourself to cry about an argument, to release anger. Repeat, I am free from the past in the morning. This cleanses the heart. For example, write, I forgive myself for failing, and notice how it eased your soul. Or forgive a friend for a hurt, and observe how it restored the friendship. Forgiveness is healing. This chapter teaches you to let go of pain, to live freely. Rule 9. This is what I call life. Life becomes brighter when you accept yourself and live with joy. Do what excites you, for example, dancing or traveling, to feel alive. Practice the joyful moments method, recording what brings you happiness, to repeat it more often. Share your energy with others to amplify it. Notice how this makes every day special. Dedicate 10 minutes to a favorite activity, for example, singing. For example, write, a walk in the park made me happy. Throw a party with friends to share the joy. This fills life with light. For example, dance to your favorite song and notice how it energized you. Or record the joy of a sunset and share it with your family, noting how it brought you closer. Joy is a choice. This chapter teaches you to live vibrantly, loving yourself and every moment. Overall conclusion. The second part of the book teaches that self-love is the foundation of a confident and happy life, achieved through recognizing your worth, forgiveness, and joy. Practices such as a list of wins, mirror praise, forgiveness letters, and seeking joyful moments help you accept yourself with flaws, let go of the past, and fill your days with energy. These methods show that you are already good enough to live boldly, without comparisons or guilt, finding happiness in simple things. This approach inspires you to start with a compliment to yourself or a dance, to build a life where self-love becomes a source of strength and light. Part 3, how to tune into your inner badass. Rule 10, meditation for dummies. Meditation helps calm the mind and connect with inner desires to act more confidently. Practice the simple meditation method, sitting 5 minutes in silence and focusing on your breath. Start with short sessions to get used to it and gradually increase the time. Use meditation before important decisions to gain clarity. Notice how this reduces stress and enhances focus. Find a quiet place and breathe deeply, counting inhales up to 10. For example, meditate in the morning to start the day calmly. Before a meeting, sit in silence for a minute to gather yourself. This helps you feel more balanced. For instance, meditate for 5 minutes before work and notice how it improved concentration. Or use breathing before an exam and observe how it relieved anxiety. Calmness is strength. This chapter teaches meditation to gain clarity and confidence. Rule 11, your brain, your personal assistant. Your mind can become a powerful ally if directed to support your goals. Practice the positive programming method, repeating affirmations. For example, I achieve success. Visualize your dreams, imagining their achievement in detail to strengthen your belief in them. Avoid negative thoughts, replacing them with inspiring ones. Notice how this changes your thinking and actions. Every morning, say, I am capable of great things. For example, imagine yourself getting a promotion with vivid details. Replace I can't do it with I will do it. This injects motivation. For instance, repeat I am confident before a presentation and observe how it improved your performance. Or visualize a vacation and start saving, noting a surge of enthusiasm. The brain is a tool. This chapter teaches you to program your mind for success. Rule 12, act as if. Behaving as if you've already achieved your goal helps bring it into reality. Practice the role-playing method, dressing and acting like the person you want to become. Take steps that align with your dream, even if you feel unprepared. Emulate confident people, adopting their habits. Notice how this accelerates your progress. Wear clothes that make you feel more confident. For example, a business suit. For example, start speaking like a leader in meetings. Take a step. For example, sign up for a course, even if you're afraid. This brings you closer to your goal. For instance, behave like a professional in an interview and notice how it impressed the employer. Or start running like an athlete and observe how it strengthened your discipline. Action creates reality. This chapter teaches you to fake it till you make it. Rule 13, the golden rule. Treat yourself as well as you treat loved ones to strengthen confidence and happiness. Practice the self-compassion method, praising yourself for efforts, just like a friend. Set boundaries, declining tasks that drain you. Give yourself gifts. For example, rest, to feel cared for. Notice how this boosts your energy. Tell yourself you tried your best after a tough day as you would a friend. For example, decline extra work to get some rest. Buy yourself your favorite dessert for a success. This makes you kinder to yourself. For instance, praise yourself for a completed project and feel a surge of joy. Or dedicate an evening to yourself and notice how it restored your strength. Self-care is love. This chapter teaches you to treat yourself with warmth, to shine. Rule 14, believe. Belief in your dreams and the universe opens the path to their realization. Practice the trust the process method, letting go of fear of failure and believing in success. Write down your goals as if they are already achieved to strengthen confidence. Act, trusting that everything will work out, even if the path is unclear. Notice how faith gives courage. Write, I live in my house, and visualize it. For example, let go of doubts before a new project, believing in the outcome. Take a step, for example, send an application, trusting the process. This ignites determination. For instance, believe in the success of a business and start noticing the first steps. Or write down a goal as a fact and observe how it motivated action. Faith is wings. This chapter teaches you to trust yourself and the world to fly towards your dreams. Overall conclusion, the third part of the book teaches you to tune into your inner power through calm, positive thinking, bold behavior, self-care, and belief in success, to live brighter and more confidently. Practices such as simple meditation, positive programming, role-playing, self-compassion, and trusting the process help reshape your mind and actions to unleash your potential. These methods show that confidence isn't an innate gift, but a skill that grows when you take care of yourself, believe in your dreams, and act as if they are already real. This approach inspires you to start with 5 minutes of meditation or an affirmation to feel like a badass, and open doors to a life full of opportunities. Part 4, how to get started. Rule 15, get out of your comfort zone. Life changes when you dare to do what scares you, to grow and achieve goals. Take small risks to get used to discomfort and gain confidence. Practice the small challenges method daily, trying something new. For example, talking to a stranger. Reward yourself for courage to maintain motivation. Notice how this expands your horizons. Every day, do something unfamiliar. For example, try a new route to work. For instance, praise yourself for overcoming fear by buying your favorite coffee. Record your small victories to see your progress. This makes you bolder. For example, talk to a colleague you usually don't speak with and notice how it strengthened connections. Or try public speaking and feel a surge of confidence. Boldness is growth. This chapter teaches you to push boundaries, to unlock new possibilities. Rule 16, a million obstacles. Obstacles are inevitable, but they can be overcome if you maintain persistence and change your approach. Practice the reframing barriers method, viewing setbacks as lessons, not dead ends. Break down big problems into small steps to make them seem manageable. Seek support from friends to avoid feeling alone. Notice how this brings you closer to your goal. After a failure, write down what it taught you. For example, to plan better. For example, break down the goal of finding a job into update resume and send application. Ask a friend for advice. This eases the journey. For instance, after a job interview rejection, improve your skills and try again. noting progress. Or break a project into parts and observe how a colleague's support sped up work. Obstacles are teachers. This chapter teaches you persistence to move forward. Rule 17, money is your new best friend. A healthy relationship with money helps you achieve dreams and live more freely. Practice the financial clarity method, recording income and expenses to control your budget. Believe you deserve abundance and look for new earning opportunities. Learn to value money by spending it on what brings you joy. Notice how this reduces financial stress. Keep a spending journal to understand where your money goes. For example, repeat, I attract abundance and apply for a side job. Buy something pleasant, like a book, without guilt. This builds financial confidence. For instance, reduce impulsive purchases and start saving, noticing increased savings. Or find freelance work and observe how it built belief in abundance. Money is a tool. This chapter teaches you to befriend your finances, to live more boldly. Rule 18, remember why you're doing this. Connecting with your big goal sustains motivation when you want to give up. Practice the dream reminder method, visualizing why you're striving, for example, for freedom. Write down your reasons to return to them in difficult moments. Take steps that align with your goal, even if they are small. Notice how this rekindles your enthusiasm. Every morning, visualize your goal, for example, your own business. For example, write, I want to travel and keep it visible. Take a step. For example, learn a skill. This keeps you on track. For instance, visualize your home and start saving, noting a surge of energy. Or write down the goal, be healthy, and start running, noting the motivation. Purpose is a compass. This chapter teaches you to hold on to your dream so you don't stray. Rule 19, the magic of gratitude. Gratitude changes your outlook on life, attracting more good and amplifying joy. Practice the daily gratitude method, writing down 3 things you are thankful for. Thank the people around you to strengthen connections and energy. Notice small things. For example, delicious coffee to enhance positivity. Observe how this makes you happier. Every evening, write, I am grateful for my family. For example, tell a colleague, thank you for their help. Find joy in a sunset or a smile. This injects optimism. For example, thank a friend for their support and notice how it brought you closer. Or write down the joy from a walk and observe how it improved your day. Gratitude is light. This chapter teaches you to appreciate life, to attract happiness. Rule 20, take action. Action is the key to change, even if you're afraid or don't feel ready. Practice the first step method, doing something right now. For example, making a call. Ignore perfectionism. Starting small to build momentum. Surround yourself with people who take action to be inspired. Notice how moving forward changes your life. Do one task today. For example, write an email. For example, start a workout with 5 minutes. Not seeking an ideal plan. Meet with active friends. This initiates change. For instance, send your resume without perfecting it and notice the progress. Or start writing a book with 1 paragraph and observe how it inspired you. Action is life. This chapter teaches you to start to achieve your dreams. Overall, conclusion, the 4th part of the book reveals how action, persistence, a healthy relationship with money, connection to purpose, gratitude, and courage turn dreams into reality, despite fear and obstacles. Practices such as small challenges, reframing barriers, financial clarity, remembering your dream, daily gratitude, and taking the first step teach you to move forward with energy and self-belief. These methods show that success isn't the absence of problems, but the willingness to act, appreciate what you have, and not lose sight of your goal. This approach inspires you to start with 1 step, whether it's a phone call or an expression of gratitude, to build a life full of achievement and joy. Part 4, how to get started. Rule 21, the temptation to give up. Resilience against the urge to quit helps you move towards your goals despite difficulties. Remind yourself of your big dream to rekindle motivation in tough moments. Practice the purposeful break method, taking a short pause for rest, but returning to the task. Seek support from friends to avoid feeling alone. Notice how this strengthens your resolve. Visualize your goal, for example, a new career, when you want to give up. For example, after a tough day, rest for 10 minutes, but return to work. Talk to a friend about your difficulties. This helps you keep going. For example, imagine success before a complex project and complete the task, noticing a surge of strength. Or, after a tea break, return to studying and observe how a friend's support inspired you. Persistence is victory. This chapter teaches you to stick to your goal even when it's hard. Rule 22, the solution to any problem. Every problem has a solution if you approach it with curiosity and flexibility. Practice the questioning approach method, asking yourself, how can I solve this? Instead of panicking. Break down the problem into parts, solving them one by one to avoid getting overwhelmed. Seek inspiration in other stories to find new paths. Notice how this turns obstacles into opportunities. When faced with a task, ask, what can I do right now? For example, divide a debt into small payments to manage it. Read about those who overcame similar difficulties. This opens up solutions. For instance, instead of stressing about a deadline, break the project into steps and start noticing progress. Or find out how a colleague solved the problem and apply their method, noting success. There are always solutions. This chapter teaches you to see a way out of any situation. Rule 23, do it. Actions, even imperfect ones, move you forward, whereas inaction hinders. Practice the quick start method, beginning a task without waiting for ideal conditions. Accept mistakes as part of the journey, learning from them to grow. Do something every day, even a small step, to maintain momentum. Notice how this brings you closer to your dreams. Start a task, for example, an email, without aiming for perfection. For example, if you made a mistake, write down the lesson and continue. Take a step, for example, 5 minutes of exercise. This creates movement. For instance, write a draft article without editing immediately, and notice how it sped up work. Or run for 10 minutes, despite laziness, and feel a surge of energy. To do is to live. This chapter teaches you to move forward without fear of mistakes. Rule 24, the dance with the universe. Harmony with the world helps attract opportunities if you're open and trust the process. Practice the open heart method, noticing signs. For example, chance encounters that lead to your goal. Let go of control, allowing events to unfold naturally. Be grateful for lessons, even if painful, to grow. Notice how trusting the world brings good fortune. Be attentive to coincidences. For example, a book falling into your hands. For example, trust your intuition when choosing a new path. Give thanks for a challenging day, finding meaning in it. This synchronizes you with life. For instance, follow a random piece of advice and find a job, noticing good luck. Or be grateful for a setback, understanding the lesson, and note inner growth. Trust is magic. This chapter teaches you to flow with life, to find your way. Rule 25, the power of love. Love for yourself, others, and life is the fuel for resilience and happiness. Practice the loving actions method, doing something kind for yourself and others. For example, a compliment. Show compassion, helping those in need to strengthen your connection to the world. Infuse your goals with love to make them inspiring. Notice how this makes life brighter. Tell yourself, I am worthy of happiness, and take a rest. For example, help a stranger with a heavy bag. Think about how your goal, for instance, a business, will improve the lives of others. This ignites the heart. For example, buy yourself flowers and notice how it lifted your spirits. Or help a colleague and observe how it created warmth in the team. Love is energy. This chapter teaches you to live with an open heart for everything to work out. Overall conclusion. The fifth part of the book shows how persistence, flexibility, action, trusting the world, and love help you stay on the path to your dreams, even when you're running on empty. Practices such as purposeful breaks, the questioning approach, quick starts, an open heart, and loving actions teach you to overcome doubts, find solutions, and fill life with meaning through self-care and caring for others. These methods emphasize that success is not just achieving goals, but also knowing how to enjoy the process, trusting yourself and the world, even in difficult moments. This approach inspires you not to give up, to take small steps with love, and to notice the magic of life, to create a reality full of joy and opportunities. This is such a wonderful book. I have compiled a separate list of all the important theses from this book, along with all the techniques and tools, and created a step-by-step action plan that you can immediately implement in your life. You can get all this in my community, Place of Power. There, you will find a detailed text analysis with similar lists for each book being reviewed. The community has already thoroughly analyzed and made available to you hundreds of world bestsellers, with a new analysis released every day. Follow the link in the description and use it.